In just one day, 71 people changed the lives of millions forever. On Monday, September 2nd, 2025, something happened in West Africa that shocked the world. A small country called Burkina Faso made a decision that will send people to prison for who they love. This story began 3 years ago when soldiers took over the government.
Burkina Faso's ruling military junta has passed a law criminalizing homosexuality and making it punishable with up to 5 years in prison. Foreigners convicted under the new law will be deported.
The draft law was unanimously passed on Monday by 71 unelected members of the country's transitional government, which has been in place since the military seized power under the leadership of the now president Ibrahim Traoré after 2 coups in 2022. These parliament members were chosen by military rulers. No one voted for them in elections.
Now, the country's Justice Minister, Idaso Rodrigue Bayala, has said, and I quote, the law provides for a prison sentence of anywhere from 2 and 5 years as well as fines. If a person is a perpetrator of homosexual or similar practices, then all the bizarre behavior they've...
Justice Minister Idaso Rodrigue Bayala announced the law on national broadcaster RTB and said those guilty would also face fines along with serving prison time. The Justice Minister spoke on state television. He used harsh words when talking about gay people. If a person is a perpetrator of homosexual or similar practices, all the bizarre behavior, they will go before the judge, he said, adding that foreign nationals would be deported under the law. The minister called gay relationships bizarre behavior. People from other countries who break this law will be sent back home. Those found guilty of homosexuality could face a 2 to 5 year prison sentence. People must also pay money as punishment. The new law goes into effect immediately. This means people in same-sex relationships can be arrested right away. The latest law is part of Burkina Faso's wider reform of family and citizenship legislation and will be popularized through an awareness campaign, according to officials. The government plans to teach people about these new rules. They will use public campaigns to spread the message. Burkina Faso was different before this law. The country never had laws against gay people until now. Same-sex relationships were legal in Burkina Faso. The military government changed everything when they made this new rule. Neighboring country and ally, Mali, also adopted laws criminalizing homosexuality in November 2024. Mali passed similar laws 10 months ago. Both countries have military governments. These governments work together on many issues. Burkina Faso becomes the latest African country to ban homosexuality, joining more than half of African countries that penalize the sexual orientation with either prison sentences or the death penalty.
Ghana and Uganda have also recently toughened their laws. And while same-sex relationships are outlawed in around a third of the world's countries, a large number of African nations remain particularly hostile.
Over 30 African countries make same-sex relationships illegal. Some countries put gay people in prison. Others use the death penalty. In recent years, Ghana and Uganda have toughened their anti-homosexuality laws, garnering intense criticism. Both countries made their laws stricter. They faced strong criticism from other nations and human rights groups. In Uganda, a law was adopted with the provision that made aggravated homosexuality a capital offense and imposed penalties for consensual same-sex relations of up to life in prison. Uganda now puts some gay people to death. Others go to prison for life. This law shocked many countries around the world. Since the military took power in 2022, soldiers have said they plan to stabilize the country amid a worsening security crisis and provide better governance. The soldiers promised to make Burkina Faso more stable. They said they would provide better leadership than the elected government. However, rights groups have accused the military government of cracking down on human rights with large-scale arrests and military conscription of critics. Human rights organizations say the military arrests many people. They force critics to join the army. People who speak against the government face punishment. However, rights activists are likely to call out the restrictions on the new legislation and limits imposed on legal recourse in nationality cases. People who work for human rights will speak against this law. They will complain about other new rules that make it harder to fight back in court. President Ibrahim Traoré leads the country now. He used to be an army captain before taking power. Traoré seized control with other soldiers in 2022. The parliament that passed this law has no elected members. The change was given the unanimous backing of the 71-member parliament, none of whose MPs have been elected. All 71 members voted yes for this law. The military appointed every single one of them. No citizens chose these representatives. This shows how military governments make laws without asking people what they want. Democratic governments have elected officials who represent voters. Military governments choose their own people to write laws. Human rights experts worry about what this law means for gay people in Burkina Faso. These laws create more than legal problems. They make it more likely that people will hurt gay people. When governments make homosexuality illegal, violence often increases. The law creates fear in the gay community. Gay people must now hide their relationships. They face prison if caught with same-sex partners. Police may not protect gay people who report crimes against them. Foreign workers, students, and business people who are gay now face deportation. This makes it dangerous for gay foreigners to live in Burkina Faso. They risk being sent back to their home countries. The timing of this law matters. Many African countries are making similar changes right now. Military governments across Africa share ideas about controlling their populations. They copy laws from each other. The law comes when Burkina Faso faces security problems. The country deals with terrorist attacks and armed groups. Some leaders use social issues to distract people from economic troubles. International organizations will probably respond to this law. The United Nations and African Union often speak against laws that criminalize homosexuality. They may pressure Burkina Faso through diplomacy. European countries and the United States typically oppose these laws. They may reduce aid money or limit trade. However, military governments care less about international pressure than elected governments. The law shows how military coups quickly change human rights. Before soldiers took power, Burkina Faso allowed same-sex relationships. The elected government never made homosexuality illegal. This changed completely after the military takeover. Other African countries with military governments may copy Burkina Faso. When one military government makes these laws, others follow. This creates a pattern where coups lead to fewer rights for minority groups. The law will push gay people to hide or leave the country. Some may seek asylum in countries where homosexuality is legal. Others will live in fear to avoid prison. Families will be torn apart by this new rule. Gay people in Burkina Faso now face impossible choices. They can hide who they are and live in fear. They can leave their country and families behind. Or they can risk prison by being themselves. The international community watches what happens next. Human rights groups prepare to document abuses. Other African countries consider whether to follow Burkina Faso's example. This law affects more than just gay people. It shows how quickly military governments can take away basic freedoms. Citizens lose rights they once had when soldiers seize power. The West African region had been slowly becoming more tolerant. Progress on human rights was happening across many countries. Military governments are now reversing this progress and taking away rights that people once had. What do you think about this new law? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this video helped you understand what's happening in Burkina Faso, hit the like button and subscribe for more world news. Ring the bell so you never miss important stories like this one. Thanks for watching.